Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are doing well and enjoying good health. May Allah keep you all safe and healthy. Ameen. Let's start with a lesson that is the world in a wall. This is a short story that is written by Gerald Durrell. And basically, this is a small extract from the autobiography My Family and Other Animals. So, let me first tell you what is an autobiography. It is a written account of a person's life, okay, and that account is written by that person himself. He shares about his life, his experiences, and he writes. When he writes himself, this work becomes an autobiography. Okay, so this is also an autobiographical work, and which is written by Gerald Durrell. So Gerald is basically best remembered for his works which he had written about his life as an animal collector. Gerald, he loved collecting animals, and basically he was an expert in studying animals. So this work is also one of those works in which he actually shares one of his childhood experiences. This is a story in which he finds a wall near his house, and he observes the wall very carefully and comes to know that it is a home to many living creatures. So he was so enraptured by those creatures, and he uh, he actually brought one of those creatures home, which creates a chaotic situation in his house. Okay, so this is all about his experience. Let's now begin with the story. The crumbling wall that surrounded the garden alongside the house was a rich hunting ground for me. It was an ancient brick wall that had been plastered over, but now this outer skin was green with moss, bulging and sagging with the damp of many winters. The whole surface was an intricate map of cracks, some several inches wide, others as fine as hairs. Here and there large pieces had dropped off and revealed the rows of rose-pink bricks lying beneath. So in this paragraph, he is telling us about the appearance of that wall. Like it was crumbling. Crumbling means it was quite weak. It was ancient means it was old. It was green with moss. Moss is basically a green grass that usually grows on wetland. Okay, bulging and sagging means it was about to fall, because it was quite weak, that's why it was about to fall, and it had cracks, and all the large pieces they had dropped off, and which was revealing the bricks lying inside it. Okay, so this is all about the appearance of that wall. Now let's move to the next paragraph. The inhabitants of the wall were a mixed lot, and they were divided into day and night workers, the hunters and the hunted. At night, the toads and geckos were the hunters. Their prey was the population of stupid, absent-minded crane flies, moths of all shapes and sizes, and rotten beetles hurrying with their night's work. By day it was difficult to tell the difference between prey and the predators. Everything seemed to feed off everything else. The hunting wasps searched out caterpillars and spiders. The spiders hunted for flies, the dragonflies fed off the spiders and the flies, and the swift multicolored wall lizards fed off everything. So in this paragraph, he talks about all the creatures that were the inhabitants of that very wall. Okay, and there were geckos. Gecko is a kind of lizard. Okay, and there were crane flies, there were moths, there were beetles, and there were wasps and caterpillars and lizards and dragonflies. And all these were all the insects that were living on that wall. So he says that all these creatures were put to work, and they were working very systematically, because they were being divided into day and night workers, and also as the hunters and the hunted. Okay, prey and the predators. Prey are the hunted, the insects that were being killed, and predators are the hunters, the insects that kills the other insects. So this is all about those insects. Now let's move to the next paragraph. But my favorites were the shyest members of the whole community, who did not seek any attention. They were also the most dangerous. You hardly ever saw one unless you looked for it. And yet there must have been several hundred living in the cracks of the wall, if you gently lifted a piece of the loose plaster away from the brick. There, crouching beneath it, would be a little black scorpion, an inch long, looking as though he were made out of polished chocolate.